Terry, if I asked you what's my least favorite number, I think you could probably guess it right away.
Number 9.
Number 9. Gosh, there's 9 horses. Last 4 races, I believe, are stakes races at Indiana Grand, which is a hopefully we can get some winners out of there. It looks, in putting together the slides for today, looks like we have a lot of agreement. There might not be a whole lot of money we need to spend from hot dog to fly for, but we'll find out if there's any other horses that you want to add that weren't in there. So let's get started right away with the news of the day, Terry. We talked about before all the talk is money, or the horse racing's in trouble. But when we go to the more quality meets, apparently that's not the case because it's raining money in Dubai. Well, I think it's always raining money in Dubai. I don't even think it really rains there. When the clouds come by, like quarters and $100 bills fall out of the sky, no?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're lifting that to in excess of that Dubai flat racing season. Now they're going to have over $40 million at the directives of His Honor Sheikh Mohammed to increase the prize money to reaffirm the United Arab Emirates leadership in the horse racing industry. It's good to see more money, right? I think you're going to start seeing some more of our better horses and European horses in the UAE.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a really good deal. They really help promote racing, and they get it out there for people to see. And I've always been really fine with them doing this. I think they really believe in it and believe in the sport. And I think that they care about the people that go to the races, and the people that are like the trainers, the jockeys, the people in the back stretch. They do a great job.
Yeah, I've read along, some following along when the races go off to like Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates or the Middle East, and looking at some of the folks who come from here to over there as they're describing their experience overseas. I know a lot of them in their Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts, they all talk about how much fun they have and how nice it is. And, Dubai just looks like it's a place like I feel like I have to go visit in my lifetime, just looking at the images. So I've never been there. Have you? I mean,
no, I've never been there, but I'd like to go like you. So looks great.
Yeah, it looks like a very nice city to go visit. I haven't been there, so I can't speak firsthand. And I also haven't been to Del Mar either, Terry, but I do watch Del Mar pretty regularly on the TV screen. So I have a good sense about that. But their season just ended up, and our Valerie talked a little bit about some of the things that happened there with Flavien Prat and Peter Miller winning the jockey and trainer titles. But something here sticks out to me. Dr. Schivel won the Grade 1. Bing Crosby took the title for the top sprinter at Del Mar. I want to congratulate Dean and Patty Reeves. They're good friends of the show. As I've said a couple of times before, if there are two nicer people, forgetting horse racing, just in general, I'd like to know who they are because you might as well canonize them right away.
Yeah, I think they're very nice people, and I'm glad that they were successful with their horse. So it worked out really well.
Any surprise that Flavien Prat won the jockey title?
No, not really. I think it's 3rd in a row, isn't it? Or 3 out of 5?
Yeah, three in a row, I think. And Peter Miller on top.
And I have no problem with that. So
yeah, I think it was his 5th in the last 6 years. Either he shared Flavien Prat, and then Bob Baffert having a little bit of a downer year for him.
Yeah, So Peter Miller just barely beat him, I guess, at Del Mar. So.
And Triple E being named the horse of the meet after winning the TVG Pacific Classic. I think we had him in our picks. I don't remember along those lines, to be honest with you, but it looks like they had a very successful year at Del Mar. They had the average daily wagering, $18.38 million a year, the highest in the track's entire history. So once again, we see money, more money.
Yeah, I agree. I think people are really coming back to support horse racing. I think they're falling in love with it. I think that pandemic actually introduced a lot of people to this sport that were never involved with it. And I think it's once you get introduced to this sport, I believe you almost get addicted to watching it and being involved with it. So
yes, careful with that word addicted around horse racing and gambling. If you have any issues, make sure you please, and I mean this sincerely, If you have any issues, make sure you seek help with gambling, because any kind of addiction that works against you and or your family is something you should get corrected, and there's plenty of help out there. And that was completely off script, Terry. So I hope that folks, and not that anything is scripted here, it's everything is live, like Saturday Night Live, I guess, but just make sure if you have an issue with that, you go ahead and get it taken care of. Just only wager what you can afford to lose. And if you can't afford to lose anything, then by golly, don't wager. I agree with you, Jay Marco. Flavian Pratt, yet the kid can absolutely horseback. I can see him even doing those Wyoming Wild West races where they got to break the horse and all that kind of stuff. Because I imagine that he's pretty solid at that stuff too. All right, Terry. So yesterday was how did your pick of the day do, Terry?
Well, people should maybe start playing my second pick of the day, because here lately my first pick hasn't been winning. They're sometimes not even in the money. Yesterday, my first pick ran out of the money. My second pick, originally from .1, paid $9.40, $5, and $3.60. And so today, my pick of the day is Indiana.
Well, why don't we start with the second pick then today, and just move them right to the front, Terry? We'll move the front down the second.
Yeah, we should, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that. But, at Indiana Grand at the 7th race, I really like this horse, and it's going to be on the morning line. It's 10-1. Named Voodoo Justice. And I said he's 2x2x2 because he's had 2 wins on the turf at today's distance at Indiana Grand. And to add to this, she has jockey Orlando Mojica in the irons, who in the last 7 days has done the following: 8 wins, 8 starts, 2 wins, and 2/3. Mm-hmm. And then my second pick is number 9, Mission Ash, has the highest last speed rating and drops in class today. And then number 5, Brewski, won her last race at Indiana Grand at a mile on the turf. She has a hot trainer jockey combination, who in the last 14 days has 16 mounts, 5 wins, a second, and 4/3.
10 out of 16 times in the money. Not too bad at all. I'm sure most jockeys and trainers, if you told them they were going to run an entire meet 10 out of 16, every 16 times, 10 times they'd be first, second, or third. I'm sure they take those numbers all day, every day, Terry.
Yep, that's true.
Absolutely. So today we're going to do our Fly 4 at Indiana Grand, starting in race number 8, which is the back home again stakes, Terry. So when I looked at, like I said, when I looked at our Fly for our hot dog pick 4s, we both decided to go very deep in this race because a lot of these horses are inexperienced. So
yeah,
let's just go ahead and get cracking with this and see what we like.
Okay.
Brewski sounds like a good idea. He wants to have a beer, huh?
Oh yeah.
Terry, I no longer drink. I was one of those people, Jay, that the proverbial 1 is too many and 100's not enough. So I had to put the sauce to the side to spare the rest of the world the carnage that is me intoxicated. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started, Terry. Race number 8. Okay. There's a lot of horses you like here, so should we just put them all in 1, 2, 6, 8, and 11 and move on to race number 9 because it is a wide open race?
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, it's fine with me.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the horses, though. What do you like about number 1, Terry?
Well, number 1, I like she won her first race of career at Indiana Grand at 5 furlongs, and she won it easily on the lead. Mm-hmm. She has a hot trainer jockey combination, who in the last 14 days out of 4 mounts has won 2 of those and ran second once.
She was well bet in her debut, which I like. 2-year-olds are kind of crazy. Got out to a big lead, although I don't know that early pace really stands up, because when I look at the distance and surface, Terry, 6 furlongs on the main track has almost an 80% speed bias with 31% winners going wire to wire. The one horse is probably, there's not a big gap, but the one horse will be up in there, I think, towards the front edge of the pack. But on the way home, it does have some of the best late pace figures. So I don't know that she'll be on the lead. I don't think she'll be that far off the lead. And I think she'll have the energy to go home and bring it home. The next horse on my list, Terry, is number 2, and that's Louder Than Words. Mm-hmm. Louder Than Words, again, that's another horse that's probably not going to be on the early pace. I feel like there's going to be 5 or 6 horses that compete for the lead. They all have very similar numbers. So I feel like the horses that are sitting right behind them might have the best chance to win. And Louder Than Words is a horse that should sit right behind him. The trainer's flipping the horse around in real fast time, which tells me the trainer probably thinks this horse is still ready to go and primed to win.
Yeah, number 2, Louder Than Words, is my first pick. And you know, she's now stretching out after winning a 5 furlong race at Great Indian Grand, and she has the highest last speed rating of all the horses. So,
and who else do you like here, Terry?
I like number 6, Flirty Dancer. She's won 2 races in a row and now going for a hat trick. It appears that she can either lead or come from behind, which is an angle I really like.
I know you like when the horses can do, when they have a little bit of flexibility. Again, looking at the early pace setup on this race, because I do feel like early speed is going to make a difference. The 6 is, again, should be part of that early pack, is a little bit of a laggard coming home, the 6 horse. But what I do like about the 6 horse is it does have some of the best early fractions in the crew. So if it can't break sharply, may not need to have a whole lot of late pace. Though I feel like this is a race where there's going to be plenty of action at the front of the pack. The next pick for me is number 8, Terry, and number 8 is Re-Ante. I guess that's a poker reference, right?
Yep, that's true.
Or it could be a lot of other things where you have to ante up. But looking at Re-Ante is a horse that will be charging very hard. It's probably going to be mid-pack back at the break, I feel like. But I do, again, expect that there'll be plenty of pace, which should set up nicely for horses like Re-Ante. And then as far as its horse, it did win last time by more than a length. And you see that the speed figures increased from race to race. So I do like the fact that, well, it only had 1 race, excuse me. So I'm looking at the wrong number there. But I do like the fact that it did come hard, and I do expect the speed figure to increase in race number 2.
Yeah, and that's my 4th pick. It was bet heavily in its first race, and it has a high percentage trainer, I mean.
And then finally, we both like number 11, Everything's Rosy. You think we should just throw the 9 in here, Terry?
We might. Safe. We put it on the side, and if we have money, we will.
Yeah, I don't know that I actually like the 9 horse. We got plenty of them here, though. Everything's Rosy. This horse was the favorite last time out and failed. Didn't get off to a sharp start like it usually does because it stumbled and hit the gate. Right. So if it doesn't stumble and doesn't hit the gate, the 11 horse should be get a much better trip than it did last time out.
Yeah, and she actually has a trainer who wins 23% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back. And her best dirt speed is the fastest among today's starters. And as you said, she stumbled and hit the gate at the start of last race. So, you know, that gives her kind of an excuse for not winning that race.
Yeah, and when I look at the early pace, late pace numbers, she has the best combination of early pace and late pace. So I feel like if she can get to the lead, doesn't have any sort of issues coming out of the gate. The only thing maybe I worry about a little bit is that outside post, because looking at the races meet to date at Indiana Grand, those outside numbers haven't won that much. You sort of kind of want to be on the inside 7 if you can be. But again, this is all going to come down to a break for her. Race number 9 is 1 mile on the turf, Terry, which is a little bit of a different feel than you're going to get on a 6 furlong dirt race. It's almost 50-50. The speed horses have a slight edge, maybe 52, 48, 51, 49, something like that. The average winner is usually around 4th at the quarter pole, 2nd or 3rd after a half mile. And again, an inside draw tends to be a little bit better than an outside draw. Who do you want to start your race number 9 with?
Number 8, Burning Ambition. She's finished 100% of the time in her career in the money, and she's won 75% of those races, and now she's going for the 4th win in a row. She has a lot of burning ambition, as you can see. She has a high percentage trainer, Brad Cox, and a good workout on September 2nd. 5 furlongs at 101 and some change, and she was the 4th best out of 14.
And she'll also be one of the strongest closers in the field. And I think she'll probably be a horse that's positioned to be maybe 4th, somewhere in that range, like that ideal spot that we mentioned, in terms of how the pace usually sets up for this kind of race. And if she can be 4th and has that kind of late kick that we expect that she'll have, I do think she's a horse that can find her way home without much of without a real big effort on her part. So I do think she has the early pace, late pace dynamics to get the job done. For me, my next horse, we're going to go with number 11 again, Terry. So we're going to get 11-11. Mrs. Claus, again, focusing on horses that should be not too far off the pace, like mid-pack coming out of the gate, and then having the late kick to bring that race home. And if you look at Mrs. Claus, excuse me, has allergies. Woof. They need to hit that dump button. Mrs. Claus has the best late pace figures in the field, actually, by a pretty decent margin. So I don't expect her to be that far back, but I do expect that she'll be rolling late.
Yeah, she's my second pick, and she really likes the distance and the turf. She has a really good workout on September 1st at 47-4, breezing. And it was the 8th best out of 24.
Okay. Anybody else that you like here, Terry?
Number 3, Big Band Louisiane.
Big Bad Louisiana, huh?
Yeah. She won her last race at Indiana Grand at 5 furlongs at today's distance. And she has the highest last race speed rating and best turf speed among today's starters.
And she's one I expect will be close to the front. I think Touch of Class and Still Charging Maria will probably be the first two out of the gate. And then Big Band Louisiana. Was that Louisiana? Yeah, something like that. And taking it to the cleaners. Those two horses will probably be right behind. But Big Band Louisiana also has probably not the best of the strongest kicks late, but also of the speed horses, does have the absolute top-notch late run. So if there's a horse that's going to take this field from anywhere near from beginning to the end, it'll be the 3-horse Big Band Louisiana. So, and then finally for me, I like horse number 4, Terry. That's Princess Theorem. Princess Theorem is a horse that should be, I feel like it has a good late pace as well. Princess Theorem should also be a horse that, let me just check my notes here real again. Yes, should be closing late, second time off a layoff. Looking back at the few times a horse had a second time off a layoff, made a huge improvement in its second race following the debut, coming in from Colonial Downs and Fairgrounds and Churchill. So I feel like going to Indiana Grand is a little bit of a, I don't want to say downgrade, but I feel like the competition that she's faced will be a little bit lighter here.
Yeah, I agree with that. And she did win a good race pretty easily at Colonial Downs, as you said. And Rocco's in the saddle, so.
So how do you want to start race number 10, Terry?
Okay, race number 10. I like Royal Prince, number 7. Ran a good second in his last race, losing only by a nose. And trainer Brad Cox wins 33% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back to the races. He's having a good year. He's finishing the money 85% of the time, and he's won 29% of the races.
Yeah, so race number 10 is another mile on the turf. So you're looking again at horses that should be mid-pack with great kicks as the ones that you want to focus on. And I agree with you, Terry, that number 7, Royal Prince, is one of those horses. Another one of those horses, I think, Terry, is number 2, is Perfect Silent Cat. Horse is making its second start off a layoff. Last time out, ran on the slop, ran a really strong late pace number. The horse is, I like the fact that it ran its best speed number coming off the break, short rest. And I feel like in this next race, based upon his previous experience, that we'll see some more improvement out of the 2 in Perfect Silent Cat.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. That's my second pick. And as you say, he's coming in from Gulfstream after winning easily on the slop. And he has the highest last speed rating in the race. So do you want to put, this is the shallowest field here, Terry. Do you want to put any more horses here? There's only, I think, what is it, a 7-horse field? Yeah, I have one other horse, but I don't really need to put it in there. It's number 6, Dynamite. He likes the distance, finishing in the money 80% of the time, winning 20% of those races. And he really likes the turf. And the trainer wins 18% of the time that he ships a horse in. He has the best turf speed among today's starters. So if you want, we can just put him off to the side if we have any more money. So
okay, yeah, we'll put him off to the side because I think right now we're at $20, right? 5 and 4 is 20. So I think we can end strong here, Terry. I don't know that we need to end strong, but it looks to me like we should at least contemplate it, because race number 11 is a deep field. It's again, it's 6 furlongs, so you're going to be looking for horses that get near the front. But again, you're talking about the babies, and anything can happen with the babies, right?
Right. Absolutely.
But I feel like we should have more than 2 choices here. And I know for me, the 1 and the 3, Classic Max and Mowins, we both agreed on those horses. They're both going to be close to the pace early out of the gates. So as far as the pace setup is concerned, it should work for both Mowins and Classic Max. But I like Mowins a little bit more because Mowins' late pace numbers are better, and it's only a touch behind in the early pace. So I feel like the 1 will chase the 3 around the track, and then as they get to the final coming out of that turn, the 1 will pass the 3 for the win.
Yeah, and we're thinking so much alike today that I like the 1 as my top pick. He finished 3rd in his last race, studying at the 3/16, and he was put up 2nd after a disqualification. He has the best dirt speed among today's starters. And then the 3, Classic Max, ran 2nd in his last race at Indiana Grand, earning the highest last speed rating. And he has a 3 furlong workout, September 2nd, of 36 and some change. It was the best out of 8.
So if you're going to put some prices in here, Terry, because these 2 horses I think are the dominant horses in terms of the low-priced horses. If you're going to put a shot in here, what shot would you want to start with?
Let's see. Number 8, Blue Kalon. Kalon. He won his last race at Indiana Downs at 5 furlongs, and the jockey who had in the last 7 days has had 8 starts, 2 wins, and 2/3.
Mm-hmm. So for me, looking at the early pace, you got a lot of horses here that look like they can get out of the gates kind of in a hurry. Some horses that might be a little bit off the pace. You know what? One of those horses, Terry, guess what number he is?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about it all day today.
Number 9, probably.
Number 9, Tour of the Moon, a horse that got bet pretty fairly last time out in his debut, did really badly. Hasn't really worked out all that great since. But when you look at the late pace figures and you look at the early pace figures, they're not that far off of this crew. And I feel like if the horse can get off to a little better start, maybe Santos Sanjar can get this horse up toward the front. And if he can, the horse has a chance, I think, to win. And it's the 9 horse. And what the heck, we can't get beat by that 9 horse for the 3rd day in a row.
Well, yeah, and he has a really hot trainer jockey combination that's won 2 out of 4 and ran 2nd. So
I think we have room for one more in race number 11. Make your pick, Terry.
Hey, I'm looking at number 12, High Cotton Justice. He won his last race at Indiana Downs, Grand, and he's actually been in the money 3 out of 4 times. He's got a sharp workout on September 3rd of 101 and 1 for 5 furlongs, and it's the 5th best out of 31. He's 8-1 on the morning line. He is moving up a little bit in class, but I think that it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I like the 12 horse too. I feel like High Cotton Justice is, again, one that has a chance to be a part of the early pace and does have the ability to maintain his pace or her pace all the way from beginning to end. So, Terry, that we maxed out this one, Terry. We have 2. We did the 100 across the board. So in race number 8, 1, 2, 6, 8, 11. Race number 9, 8, 11, 3, and 4. Race 10, the 2 and the 7. Race number 11, 1, 3, 8, 9, and 12. And here's to hoping in one of those, Terry, not in race 10, of course, but in race 8, 9, and 11, that we can score some big-time winners in there, some high-priced horses. What do you think about that?
I think that's great. Yeah, I was hoping when you actually I actually looked at this. You suggested that I did, I think, and I like the looks of it because it looks like to me you can get a pretty decent payoff when you hit the pick 4.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's hope that we can get a decent payoff here. Let's take a quick look at our hot dog pick 4s, Terry, and you see here that we have a lot of the we have the same exact 5 horses. That's why I started off one. It's kind of funny to me that we went that route because we don't share our tickets until Terry sends it to me, and I don't look at it other than to stick it into the Excel sheet. But 1, 2, 6, 8, 11. And then you have 8, 11 in race 9, 2, 7, and then 1, 3. I went 1, 2, 6, 8, 11, 3, 4, 8, 11. Just soloed the 7 in race number 10. I felt like the 7 horse was the best horse by a wide margin. And after I went 5 by 4, I had to find a solo somewhere. And then I feel like the 1 and the 3 are evenly matched. But like I said, I expect the 1 horse to rally past the 3 as they come around the corner and head for home. And we almost forgot to look for Sasquatch today, Terry.
Yes, I was going to mention the place pick. So.
Mm-hmm. So you stuck it out at Indiana Grand. You went race 5, 6, and 7.
Yep.
And then I went over to Canterbury Park today because they have a big card as well tonight. So I did race 7, 9, and 10. Those are 3 of the last 4 races. I didn't do race number 8, but race number 8 has a big favorite. That's number 5. I think it's number 5. My memory serves. So you could actually maybe close out the pick 4 at Canterbury Park with 5, 5, 5, and 4, and maybe if all 3 of those picks win in the price in the favorite wins in race number 8, it's a possible pick 4 for you at Canterbury Park, or at least some horses that you can look at in terms of putting them on your ticket.
Absolutely, yeah, it looks good.
So hopefully we can find Sasquatch, both of us today, Terry.
Yeah, I'm hoping that on mine that Voodoo Justice 10-1 in the morning line. You know, in that race, in the 7th race, there's a hard favorite in there listed as a hard favorite morning line, and number 4 Voodoo Justice beat that horse about 4 or 5 races back and beat him pretty substantially. So,
and if you can start at pick 5, Terry, with a 10-1 shot.
Yeah,
because that's race 7 that leads into our pick 4 at Indiana Grand, and maybe you can start a pick 4 with a 10-1 shot, and then hit some of these long ones that we have, Terry, up in here as well, and then have Christmas money. And it's not that far away anymore.
That's right.
Unfortunately, that's the sad part about Labor Day, Terry.
Yeah,
that the summer has ended.
Yep.
Did I miss anything, Terry, today?
I don't think so. I think you got it all down pat. So I think it's working out really well. So I think tomorrow we're going to do Gulfstream, right?
Yes, we'll do Gulfstream Park tomorrow. So if you want to include your Gulfstream pick 4, hit us up on Twitter or Facebook at Racing Radar, or you can email me directly at GTS George Tom Sam Rich RICH B like boy or billionaire. I'll go with billionaire instead. Billionaire sounds better at 55 than boy at gmail.com. Get that off to us. We'll put it on air. And of course, if you're watching the show and you like what you see, please do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe. The more thumbs up we get, the higher in the rankings we go. And the more people will actually see Terry and I make our excellent picks. Yeah. And then on Facebook, if you like us, that's fantastic too, because then we also move up in the Facebook algorithms. And follow us on Twitter, again, at racingradar.com. And if you're looking for some free picks today, you can head on over to the horseracingradar.com, and you'll see that we do make some free picks available at on tracks that are running today. Part of our premium packages, helps us keep the lights on, Terry and I, so to speak. You can see Ajax Downs, Albuquerque's, a bunch of races running today. So if you look at Indiana Grand, I think we cover the first 2 races. And if you get a membership, you get the next, you get the first 5. So there's the first few races today at Indiana Grand. So take a look at that. If you like what you see, you can pick up each track that you like for $4 or $5, and then for a whole day for 15. Terry,
it's a
tomorrow
great
we're going to do Gulfstream Park. What's that?
Yep. I was going to say it's a great website to go to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's got a lot of other information, and I really enjoy going there. I go there every day and take a look, read the articles, that sort of thing. And look at the picks; they really help. So,
and then of course tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow we'll have our Players Edge podcast with jockey Julian LaPeroux. We'll be talking a little bit about this weekend's races at Kentucky Downs. We should have a question and answer with Julian up on the website probably sometime tomorrow or early Friday. And then make sure by Friday that you head on over to Horse Racing Radar. If you haven't done it already, Terry, the handicapping contest, Terry always has fun with these, but we start Friday with Woodbine kind of Friday. So make your picks for Woodbine on Friday. Like I mentioned, on Saturday, we'll be doing Kentucky Downs, and I'll be live commenting on every single race. And then on Sunday, I guess we're doing Kentucky Downs again. So got to make the most of that track while it's open, because I think it closes already on Sunday, no?
Yeah, I think so. That's the end. It's only like a 7 or 8 day meet, something like that. So, and
got the lifespan of a mosquito.
Yeah, but it has all these big purses. That's what's really nice about it. So, and of course, it's got some pretty good payoffs there. If you can get the winner, you're going to win pretty good.
Just as long as it's not the 9-horse, Terry.
That's right.
All right, Terry. Terry and I will be back tomorrow in 23 and 30. Again, we'll be making our picks for Gulfstream Park, our 3P parlays. We'll talk about the news for the day, tell you what we think about it. And, of course, hopefully we'll find Sasquatch with our 3P parlays. Terry, till tomorrow, everybody else, make sure you have a great day at the track, and may all of your picks end up in the J. Marco Winner's Circle.